Hey folks, Wednesday James here, letting you know that it's time for another edition of What's Up With That Song Wednesdays, which is going to be my reminder for this week, for this day at least, for you to go to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@JamesHearneMusic, and subscribe there, and head over to the Patreon, patreon.com/JamesHearneMusic, and subscribe there. You can do it for free if you don't want to pay for it. You can pay for it if you want to pay for it. I'd obviously prefer you pay for it, but that's up to you. But either way, you can get all these videos plus downloadable MP3s of all this stuff, so check those things out. Cool. Time for What's Up With That Song Wednesdays. Hey folks, welcome to What's Up With That Song Wednesday, and today we're going to talk about a song of mine that I'm actually quite fond of personally. It's called One Leg Beats the Others. This is a song that songwriting is weird, right? Sometimes things occur to you in kind of weird times and weird energies and weird orders, and so I was in the house that I owned in Catskill, New York. This is probably 2018-ish, I think. And I was getting into bed, and I went to go plug my phone in on the bedside table there, like you do, so it charges overnight. And I went to plug it in to put it in, and the table, as I put the thing down, it rocked. And then it sat back down again, and I sort of thought, that's, and I had a desk in the basement that I had been using to write and, record stuff a little bit. And that one did the same kind of thing. I have cheap furniture. I don't give a shit. I just want stuff that's going to hold my shit up. I don't care if it is, nice or whatever. But so I was lying in bed and thinking about, it's funny, everything, and the phrase, every table that I own rocks back and forth because one leg beats the others to the floor, just popped into my head. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. One leg beats the others to the floor. That's kind of funny. And I sat up, and I grabbed my phone, and I opened up the notes app, and I put that phrase in. Every table that I own rocks back and forth because one leg beats the others to the floor, and I lay back down. And I was tired as hell. It was, probably 2 a.m. It's bedtime, got to do my thing. But then as I'm lying there trying to get to sleep, there's a rhythm in those lines that kind of came through. And so, and maybe 5 minutes after I put the lights off and lay back down, my brain goes, and most of them will trip you on your way out to the door. Yeah, okay. Sat back up, grabbed the phone, put that in. And then, of course, to cap it, you just put the first line again. Okay, so great. There's a verse. Cool. I'm going to go to bed. Every table I own rocks back and forth as one leg beats the others to the floor. Most of them will trip me on the way out to the door. Every table that I own. Cool. Okay, bedtime. Great. Got to go to work. Go back to sleep. Or go lie back down. And as I'm lying there, my brain's still turning it over. It's the thing is the floors are kind of the problem, really, at the end of the day. So I sat up. The floors I got ain't level anyway. And now how to top of the unlevel floors, well, your breakfast food's going to slide off your plate. And so, the thing was, the song, I just kept trying to go to bed, and it kept every 5 or 10 minutes, the next line would occur, because the part of my brain that was, grinding on that idea, I think anybody with an artistic bend of any kind can speak to this. There's that moment when, you've almost got something and your brain's just kind of working it in the background, and it doesn't matter what you're doing, you can be petting the dog or walking or whatever, and your brain just kind of working that little thing back there. And in my case, I was trying, because I had to go to work in the morning, so I'm trying really hard to go to sleep, and about every 5 or 10 minutes my brain would give me the next line or two. And so the song, I think I ended up going to bed about 3, finally, when I finished the damn thing. The bridge used to be longer. There was 4 lines instead of 2, but I don't recall what the other 2 were. I didn't think they were necessary, and I cut them. And I've since forgotten what they were. And then, of course, we get into the third verse. I never learned to hammer in a nail, which is not true. I have, in fact, hammered a nail or 2 in my time. I'm not particularly handy, to be clear, but I do know how to hammer in a nail, or keep myself on the outside of the jail. Well, at this point, I knew I was writing a country song and just felt like the right vibe to it. I've never been to jail. Knock on wood, he says. But it just felt like the right answer to that. And then, of course, you got to bring it back to a love story, because it's a country song, and all country songs are love stories. Most country songs are love stories, so I got to loop that back in the last verse. And then, by that point, the melody was just there, and the changes were in my head. I didn't have a guitar in the room. I didn't have one until the next day, but I just sort of already knew what it was going to be, as to define what key it was going to be. And that's the sort of the other weird thing about writing songs, is that when it's working at its best, it's best. Your mileage may vary, but when it's cooking, sometimes I don't even need to have a guitar in my hands. I know the chords. I can feel them in my fingers. I think this is one of those ones that, like, by the time I finished the words, I knew all the chords. I just didn't know what key they were going to be in. It's A, by the way, in case you're following along at home. And so the next day I got up and I went to work, and I got home and I just pulled the notes app and pulled it and grabbed my guitar and like, what key is that? And then there it was. Some of the guitar stuff has improved as I've gotten better at it. And then, I just think it's a kind of a little witty and a little fun and it's not much of a song, but I love it anyway. It is a nice reminder to me of how my brain works when it gets onto a creative run, which is that it keeps me up all night until I finally put the damn words in place. It's a feeling I have not had as much of late, and I kind of miss, honestly. I'm trying to get back to that place where my brain just sort of throws things at me without my knowledge. It's been a little bit more work of late, which, God forbid work is work, but, anyway, it's a song that I think if I ever make a second studio record of a kind, like I have the direction to do kind of a folky country record in me. I've got the material for it. I just need to figure out. I was going to try and do it at home, but I don't have the engineering skills to record a lot of acoustic instruments well. I don't have the engineering skills to really do like at the level I want to work at. I am doing some home recording, which a couple of you have heard bits of, and we'll talk more about that as we go. But for now, there will be a country folk record of some kind at some point. I just need a budget to make it with, and some players and a studio, whatever else. Because I just don't have the equipment at home. I don't have the engineering skill. I don't have the wherewithal. I'm not a good enough recording person, or for that matter, a good enough musician to do it by myself. It turns out I spent probably half a year trying to do it at home, and I got nowhere. I mean, I'm just not a good enough engineer. So anyway, someday I'll make another studio country folk record, and this song will probably be on it. But until then, this may be the definitive version of it, so I hope you enjoy it. One leg beats the others to the floor. Without further ado, it's great to talk to you, and we'll see you next Monday for Song of the Week and the check-in. Every table that I own rocks back and forth, 'cause one leg beats the others to the floor. And most of them will trip you on your way out to the door. Every table that I own rocks back and forth. The floors I got ain't level anyway. Your breakfast food slides right up off your plate. And walking drunk is like your tempting fate. The floors I got ain't level anyway. I can't afford the finer class of gin. The bottom shelf's about the shape I'm in. Or keep myself on the outside of the jail. Just a drinking and a drowning and a singing fare thee well. I ain't never learned to hammer in a nail. But all I want's to give my love to you. Though mostly all my angles don't sit true. and my heart looks like a twister blue on through. Yes, all I want is to give my love to you. This busted up old heart, it's all for you.